Breaking news. After raid hours featuring near co-hosts JackJack1620 and JayTi7N. How's it going, Jack?
Pretty good, man. How are you?
I am miserable. No, I'm doing pretty good. I had a really big desire to go to GoFest Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, I got my foot chopped up.
You're on the chopping block?
Yeah, I was on the chopping block. I love that show. Back in the day, that food cooking.
Was that a food cooking show?
So, yeah, it was really cool. It was like a competition show. They give you a basket of 4 random ingredients, and they're like, you need to make this course and this and that out of this, and then
intriguing.
They'd put someone on the chopping block to let you go. So it starts with 4 and then ends with a 1v1. Okay. Anyway, 1v1.
Random.
But anywho, no, I got surgery on the 22nd. And then, so the morning of surgery, I tested negative for COVID. I thought I was doing good. I was like super happy. I was like, cool. I'm going to go to my mom's place. She's going to take care of me. She's been wanting to forever. Like,
okay,
you know, it's like, you know, mom's being mom. She worries too much or whatever.
I was like, psh.
So then
my mom's like, good luck, beach.
Yeah. Anyway, so finally I was like, okay, cool. We'll like kill 2 birds with 1 stone or whatever. And then it was like, by the way, bitch, Saturday came by, got COVID. Tested positive.
At least it was negative before, else it would have postponed your whole thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So.
Well, that and just like I honestly I felt bad. Like I called all of the doctors and I was like, guys, I tested positive on like the day after. Can you guys make sure you're okay? And they're all okay. None of them got sick. So I was happy about that.
Because they had you hooked up to a whole machine, so your oxygen was already being filtered. So they're good. They're in a whole sterilized, cold-ass surgery room. Do you remember it being super cold? I remember mine was ice cold.
Okay, my knee surgery in 2017. Okay. That was freezing cold. This time, they didn't even fucking bother. They put me... I was in the prep room. Uh-huh. I was in the bed. They're like, cool. I had the IV in. They're like, awesome. We're going to take you right to the surgery room. I was expecting to go into a refrigerator and like be cold.
Yeah.
I was out within 3 steps. It was 1, 2, 3, out. Woke up next, you know, my mom's next to the bed or whatever, and she was like, I was like, holy shit, what time is it? Because they're like, oh, it should be done by 1 p.m. It's 3:45.
Because you have to wake up.
And I was like, what happened? And then the doctor said that, you know, it took him a little longer to do the surgery anyway and all this other stuff, which is normal. In case you didn't know, I'm built like a fucking alligator with my skin. It's really tough. So if you need to cut me, make sure you get it like on the first try, because I will fuck your day up. Anyway, point is...
that's a dark notice.
I'm serious. They struggled. Like, anytime you got to stab me with needles to get into my vein, it takes at least 3 tries. It's 3... Like, 1, oh, I missed it. Oh, I missed it. Let me try your other arm. I missed it. And then they got to try again. So I'm used to needles. Sucks. But anywho, had a surgery, got COVID. Didn't get to go to Seattle where I could get my boy. Cowboy Snorlax. I really wanted it. Super shiny, super cool.
Super cute.
I know some people have gone. Maybe, hopefully, someone I know is the charity to donate one to my cause. Or I'll just have to wait the 10 years to get one or whatever. But anyway, yeah. No, so that happened, and then I've been in recovery for over a week now. Miserable.
Yeah, I was like, you've been pretty much MIA since that. And I was like,
and
he's okay. He's just sleeping somewhere.
I was okay. In the middle of that, we had the Hisuian Discoveries event start.
Yep.
Which is super cool. Got Hisuian Pokemon. They finally fucking listened and changed 7K eggs.
Yeah, they heard your threats, and so I took it. As soon as I saw that release, I was like, they're listening to us. And then same thing with the whole after the community day stuff. So obviously we had the Starly, and they had the whole community day at 29th Street Mall.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden for the Zigzagoon, because obviously you've been resting and recovering. Yeah. I've been working on the advertisements for
They look awesome. If you haven't seen these Zigzagoonies poster, it is fucking genius.
Yeah, I decided these advertisement wave, I'm just going to do like parodies of movie posters and just go with it.
So you did the birds with Starlies, and that was amazing. And then, we were talking about Zigzagoon for a second, and I was like, Zigzagoonies.
Yeah, I was like, done. Say no more. And did the Goonies, and it's funny because I was watching fucking Kung Fu Panda the other day.
Hell yeah.
I think like last night, Trell was randomly watching, I guess they have like a series now on Netflix, and 2 of the characters looked like the Obstagoons, and they're like little thieves, and I was like, wow, because they have like human-like bodies, but
Yeah.
It looked very similar to the design I did for the Zigzagoonies advertisements. I was like, how funny.
That's awesome.
But doing that is like getting all that together, figuring out the whole Fill-A-Backpack fundraiser, the virtual fundraiser that Aurora Masters is doing, getting all those logistics, figuring out the ticket breakdown, making that fucking PDF for instructions. So please, if you do decide to donate, please look at that. I took some time.
There was a lot of love and effort that went into that.
Yes, I was up late at night trying to figure out how to do it, screenshotting everything, writing it out. I do apologize if there's any fucking typos, because I am human. I make mistakes. I am not as perfect as I show I am.
You're like Mom from the Umbrella Academy. You're a robot and you take care of all your orphan kids.
Well, I just have my orphanage of accounts.
That's what I meant. That's what I was getting at. But anyway.
But yeah, so it's just been that. And with the Hisuian stuff, like, that's been dope. Obviously, because you've been kind of recovering, you haven't been able to do the little the daily incense stuff.
There's that new adventure incense that came out. Yeah,
so that's pretty cool. Like, I know some people have had some luck, or some god tier luck, getting the fucking Galarian bird. Someone actually caught one.
Which is insane to me, because it's like those when they released the dogs.
The dogs,
beasts, and they just fucking ran on you, and you felt like shit.
I was pissed, but then I got that baby Suicune, and everything. My faith was restored.
Baby Suicune.
So someone got like a baby Galarian Articuno. I think it was like CP29.
That's awesome.
And I was like, bitch.
I love the Galarian birds so much.
They're beautiful.
They're so cool.
And the shiny forms of them are the exact colors of the regular Cantonian forms.
Yeah.
But just in their Galarian form. So I was like, I want these. I want them bad. Obviously, don't get FOMO and all that bullshit. Don't trust yourself. Like, I just tried doing a walk around Walmart while I was shopping. Like, oh, I can use. No, I got 4.
Walmart just ate your GPS signal.
Yeah, it was like, fuck you, Jack. And I was like, cool, thanks. Don't bother just sitting at home and doing it. You will get nothing. I tried that too.
Like, basically nothing.
The best way I found is you have to literally go for an actual walk.
Yeah.
Go for a nice 15-minute stroll to go, like, maybe catch a stop around your neighborhood, go to a local park. Or, if you're lazy as fuck like I was one night at, like, 9 o'clock, 9,
just
10 at
roll
night.
your windows down and cruise.
Basically. And it's just in the neighborhood, being a fucking creep, trying to play Pokemon, just cruising. Obviously, I do it that late because, A, no kids are out, hopefully. And it's just a nice night. And plus, it's been cool. These fucking afternoon showers and thunderstorms have been fucking glorious.
Oh my gosh, I've been loving it, even though in my recovery.
Yeah, I was like, you're just out of whack, but
like the rain has been
like, yes,
the rain has been excellent. No, I've been loving that. So full stop. I haven't used the adventure incense yet. Been a little grounded.
That makes sense.
I would hopefully, soon I'm going to be starting a new job. I'm going to be a little bit more mobile in the next couple of weeks. So hopefully that's, I think it's sticking around, right?
I think so, because like part of the research stuff is like you have to catch like 100 things on the incense. So if you haven't had luck with it, like me,
like 4 in Walmart, or 0 at home.
So then I'm like, shit, there goes 2 days of hunting.
Yeah, so I'm going to, I think they're staying around for a long time, or a while. So I'm going to finally be able to use those. I'm going to try to do like a little wheel around downtown, maybe for like a 15-minute block at lunch or something, see how that goes. I imagine it'd be pretty decent. I usually get pretty decent playing downtown. But anyway, so I haven't been able to use those, but I thought that was actually kind of a neat little surprise to drop.
Just make sure you click on the Pokemon that have the little, almost like little blue...
whatever the incense would be for that, the adventure incense notification. Okay.
Well, it's just like kind of like a blue little like I think like a sprite from like Zelda.
Oh, okay.
So you'll see that kind of go around the Pokemon. So click that one, because you just catching any Pokemon that's out doesn't count towards your catches.
It has to be on the incense.
It has to be on the incense, and when you click it, the Pokemon will show the incense next to
so
like
look for the little
weather or whatever.
Look for the little Navi. Hey, listen.
Yeah, and it's like a darker blue, so it's really hard to notice.
Okay.
Sometimes they'll spawn on top of other spawns, so you got to speed capture or they disappear on you.
Okay.
All that shit. So.
Like I said, I think it was kind of a cool addition to the game. I know it's another motivation for us to get out and be be more active or whatever.
Part of their
play
tricks to
Pokemon
get us mobile again.
Go, or whatever. I think it's actually pretty neat. Like if you're already doing like daily walks, which I was doing for a bit, just I got to keep a little bit more active the older I'm getting in general, and then for my health.
Yeah.
So like a daily walk, 15-minute walk, that's pretty normal. Like
yeah, that's not a bad deal, especially again because it's necessary to get that blood pumping.
Exactly.
One thing I've been learning over the last couple of like the last week or so, because again TikTok listens to the listens to us talk,
the algorithm,
just like Facebook and everything else. And one of the things that came up is like, is it better for your health and stress management, and also just weight loss, to work out earlier in the morning.
Yeah.
So your body has that kind of boost in energy, and it can help sustain you throughout the day to get you through. So if you decide to walk, try to do it earlier on as opposed to like later in your day, because sometimes work out too late, that might cause you to stay up late, and you're like,
especially now in the summer.
Yeah.
It's definitely recommended to go out. Again, these rains have been nice,
beautiful,
and cooling down in general, but because of those, but it's still hot as fuck outside. And so like if you go in the mornings, go early. It's the same thing with the workout thing. Like the myth is, if I work out early, I'll just be tired the rest of the day. It's like, no, workouts actually give you a shit ton of energy, releases endorphins, all those feel goody shit. It's really, there's a science behind it. But either way, I look forward to it. I liked the kind of like surprise announcement, and I like that they added like the Galarian bird, something that I can look forward to. Now again, I'm not letting FOMO
Don't let that shit
control me. Obviously, otherwise I would have been out there. I don't give a fuck about my foot. I need the birds, or some bullshit like that.
I just dragging yourself like that one, that like first zombie from The Walking Dead is like crawling.
Just got a bloody pulp of a foot stub left.
Awesome, so hot.
But I got the bird. No, it ran on me. Anyway, it's like shit like that. I'm not letting FOMO control me, but I like that they have those things.
They will be in raids, I trust.
Yeah, I imagine. Can they be shiny?
No.
They can't be shiny out the rip.
I don't think the only Galarian or only Hisuian that has been kind of promised to have a shiny potential is Bravery, which will be having its raid day on Sunday the 31st.
Ah, right.
So I think that's from I believe like 11 to 2, so very similar to like a community day.
Okay.
So definitely if you want to be active in that, have your online status on, talk to your buddies if they plan to raid, form your groups to get that figured out. Maybe that might be something to potentially would you want to do like a hunt like that? Like if you're sitting in a car, is that more?
Yeah, I can tag along.
Because that would be something I'm not opposed to. Because I
would love to do
the shiny for it is dope.
A little raid train. The shiny is super cool. It's got like instead of the purple mask, it's got a blue mask on like the black feathers. It looks fucking.
So if any of you played the Legends Arceus, this is the bird of that generation, basically, or of that game era.
Yeah.
It's from the past. So Bravery typically is just like a flying normal type. This one is a psychic flying.
Yeah, flying psychic.
So, and it has a different color scheme and everything. So its shiny form is all black with the blue kind of flames where its kind of head feathers would be.
Yeah.
So it's pretty fucking dope. Plus you get extra XL candies. You'll get 5 fucking free raid passes while you do it. You get more XP.
Yeah.
And obviously, the chance of getting the shiny, I think, is worth it because that's generally the reason why most people go out to raid, or just to get it for your deck. So this is kind of a 2-for-1, which is fucking dope.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm totally interested. Would love to do it. I can be a passenger in a car, and do it. But that's a Pokemon. That's not necessarily the most exciting. It's like the super legendary that's shiny or whatever, but it is a new Pokemon, new form, has a shiny. I've missed doing raid days. This is one that I think would be cool. Versus like what they're doing with our research task breakthrough boxes, where they're like, oh, here's a Galarian Stunfisk.
Cool.
And
then last month was
Lickitung out of nowhere.
Yeah, it was like cool.
So, whatever.
Golden Boy's dope.
But I'm really into Hisuian Braviary, so yeah, that's a raid day coming out, and so probably plan on doing that. And then I like the Hisuian forms.
Of course.
For those that don't know, Hisui is like
glorious.
The ancient form of Sinnoh, which is Gen 4. So it's really cool. So you got Hisuian Growlithe, the Rock Boy, a Hisuian Quillfish. I saw Kyle with an Overquill already. I thought that was
Turtle
pretty
Master?
cool. Yeah, Turtle Master.
Yeah, I saw him. I was like, you son of a bitch.
Hisuian Sneasel turns into Sneasler, which is like that cheerleader mean girl bitch. That, like, slaps you or whatever.
Like, I can already tell she's judging me.
Yeah, exactly.
Right there.
Sneasler is cool.
Looks.
Sneasler in Arceus, you get in her little backpack and she climbs with you, and she just laughs in your face.
This is where it helps to play the actual Pokemon games.
True.
Because it just adds to the excitement of it. And then you also have, like, I think the other shinies that you can get during this time that we didn't have before was Panpour, which is obviously native to the U.S. So if you don't know who Panpour is, that is the water monkey.
Water monkey.
That was also one of the features of, again, GoFest.
GoFest, yeah.
So that just means we have to look forward to Pansage, which is the grass one, probably in a couple weeks.
Yeah, after Sappiro.
Yeah.
Sapporo.
So just kind of look forward to that. The people who went to the Seattle event, I heard, had a good time.
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything bad. I was going to try to meet with Richie, who's pretty much the only one who had some negative to say that we knew.
Well, he's just anti-Seattle. I don't know.
Well, he was more just anti how these events. Yes, and also anti-Seattle. There to make sure everything was good with the fam who was also going. But I think everyone, for the most part, that I've talked to had a good time. Like, one of the guys who I talked to, he was like, yeah, I did like 100 raids. I was like, that's fucking insane. I would never do that many raids.
No, it'd be real hard.
Yeah, like, because to me, the motivation, like, I like raiding, but at the same time, there'd have to be something worthwhile. And I think the only thing they really had was what? Dialga?
Dialga, yeah.
During
I think
that
so.
time, it wasn't. Was there like a special that they had?
Well,
I know like Buzzwole.
I was gonna say,
there,
was he doing the Buzzwole raids?
I don't know if it was for Buzzwole.
I can't imagine you'd want to do 100 Dialga in Palkia.
Yeah, I'm hoping it was probably Buzzwole, because then if you have the numbers and it's really easy and you're sitting on those passes like my ass is, okay, I might.
Yeah, I was like, for Buzzwole's also very good in Pokemon Go. Like, it's good
in general,
good in gymming, good in PvP. And raid battling. So, so I can imagine Buzzwole, like, trying to get the perfect Buzzwole and like different versions of Buzzwole or whatever. I imagine that would be something I might do. I don't know if I want to do 100 raids.
Yeah, but then just kind of going forward.
But that's so cool.
From that, I heard good things. So for Sappiro, I hope they have a great event as well. And again, anyone who's going there, be safe, be smart, check their weather, prepare. Going forward for the Zigzagoon Day, I'm looking forward to, because I love Galarian Zigzagoon.
It's so cool.
He is dope. They're doing the whole 29th Street thing again there, and I guess I've kind of heard a mixed bag of reviews. Now, I went to see Boulder back in the day when 29th Street was coming up, and my experience there is like, it's not the best for just kind of everyday travel. Like, along that strip, there's not even much food places, which kind of sucked. And maybe it's changed in the 6 years I went to see Boulder. No, actually, almost a decade. Fuck. I was like, I'm getting older. But hopefully that's changed. Maybe they added more food stops, because to me, food and parking are two major things when I choose my destination to go to Community Day. And 29th Street just did not strike my fancy. And reading even a couple of people's when they announced they're going to be coming back for
Zigzagoon.
For August, that Niantic planned to be there and have little reps there and everything and be cute and shit. People were kind of like, yeah, it's not worth it. Just again, because of parking. Like, maybe they added more stops, maybe they didn't, because again, I haven't been there in quite some time.
Right.
But I know my main focus for the Community Day for August is going to be our virtual fundraiser we're doing for Aurora Masters and for just Colorado in general. So just a little tidbit about that is we have like the website up. So if you're on Aurora Masters Discord, it's there, but it's Fill-A-Backpack. It's a virtual drive. So we're also kind of pairing that with a raffle. So if you're in Aurora Masters, you're part of that Discord, which the link is like, I believe like it's HTTP
Aurora.pogo.chat, I believe.
Well, there's like a CO.
So aurora.co.pogo.chat.
Yes. So you have to be part of the Aurora Masters Discord, and then to donate, there's kind of two options. So you could do it virtually, which You go to the linked donation. So we set up a whole little thing with them. So they set up our own little fundraiser. Our goal is $809, which is the exact amount of Pokemon that exists.
Why is that?
Yeah, generations 1 and 7 of Pokemon. So that's why that dollar amount is that. But I know, Aurora, we could probably get that shit out of the water and surpass that amount. But it's actually a lot cheaper for you to donate via the virtual drive. The reason being is because there's kind of more restricted donations on it. So there's set backpacks that range from $60 to $75, or you can just buy supplies for $30.
Yeah.
If you check out the advertisement that we put up, not only on Discord, but on Facebook specifically, Festival Plaza, Pokemon Go Aurora, Pokemon Go Extreme. Yeah, I think those are the 3 I put them on.
Okay.
You can kind of see the ticket breakdown. So you just get like $30 get you 2, $60 get you 4, $75 get you 5 tickets. And those tickets get entered into a raffle in order to win and you could win potentially a PlayStation 5.
Dun, dun, dun. That's right.
Yes.
We got our hands on a PS5.
Justin is a fucking...
I don't know. I have a nose for it. I'm like a truffle pig, but for PS5s.
Yeah, I just think you're a PS5 whisperer. Like, you just know.
Well, I'm usually about that, kind of about everything. So graphics cards or this.
Anything tech.
When anything's hard to find, I can typically find it in some form or fashion. But anyway, so this is a PS5 bundle, actually. So it's even more than just a PS5.
Oh, shit.
It's, there's a
Give us the deets.
A disc PS5 version, so it can backwards compatibly play PS4 games, which I use mine for PS4 games all the time. Comes with a second controller, a charging stand for both controllers, a couple of games, so Gran Turismo, the launch edition, Gran Turismo 7, sorry, the newest one.
Oh, shit.
And then it comes with Horizon Forbidden West, which is an amazing game, the launch edition of that too. So it's a couple games, couple accessories.
I'll make another advertisement as we get closer, just to kind of like spill all the deets of that, because I just kind of put a PlayStation 5 in general.
I mean, it's cool. It's a Goonies,
Zigzagoonies
looking at the PS5. That's pretty sick. But anyway, I mean, the whole point is like it's a great opportunity if you want to win that. This is probably a cool opportunity for that. But then also like the backpacks.
Yeah, if you want to just donate. We changed it up from the last time we did it back to a drive to where we're not asking for just materials outright.
Yeah.
Simply because we know COVID is still like a thing.
The logistics of that is pretty difficult.
Yeah, getting everyone to just bring stuff and remember it, because I am a forgetful bitch. I don't know how many times I've left stuff at my house that I need to bring Justin.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, hey.
And so it's a lot easier when it's just, online, here you go, boom.
Yeah.
But say you don't want to do it online, when we're at the community day at AMC, which is the Aurora Municipal Center on Saturday, you can always do a cash donation. So the in-person cash donations, it's $20 per raffle ticket.
Right.
And again, if you don't care about the raffle and you just want to donate, we always welcome that. It's always greatly appreciated.
And it doesn't have to be in $20, $15 increments. It's whatever you're comfortable with, whatever you're happy with. And then
the main thing is like if you do want to do the raffle, it is like the $20 per ticket. But again, if you're just donating out of the kindness of your heart, you're a fucking amazing person.
Thank you so much.
And any amount helps.
And so far, I mean, like, we were really successful with this charity in the past.
Yes.
It's been a couple of years since we did it, but we were really successful with it. They loved working with us. They love working with us again. I was a child that received a backpack full of stuff when I was younger because we were dirt fucking poor. So it's always near and dear to my heart to be able to get that kind of stuff and help out other kids. Usually like fuck your kids or whatever, but in this case,
when it comes to education,
I love taking care of kids. Really.
I agree.
So yeah. Anyway, so all that stuff we got on the Discord. You do have to be part of the Aurora Masters Discord if you want to be part of the raffle. Now, and I highly encourage you to join if regardless of the raffle. But yeah, and we got the information out on those various Facebook accounts, and then we'll be in person. That'll be kind of our last hurrah to get to our bits. Our goal's 809. It's been out maybe a couple days, if that, and we already have 180.
Yeah. Other little part, just as a added note, is when you do the donation online, you want to send your receipt, like a screenshot of it or the email of it. You could forward it to RoarMastersPogo2021@gmail.com with your Discord name and 4-digit extension.
Yeah.
So the main reason for that is because we want to make sure that you're part of Aurora Masters Discord. because if you win the raffle, we'll do the raffle after the 14th. So everyone has an opportunity on Community Day to do in person or do it virtually, that we have someone we can actually contact and then coordinate how to get that PlayStation 5 goodness to you.
Yeah, absolutely. And
if you do win.
Help deliver it and all this other stuff. It'll be fun. But yeah, so just make sure you look out for those. Jack worked really hard on these graphics and kind of the PDF, getting it all together. He also worked very hard on getting this coordinated. I'm just here to look pretty, so ultimately...
You took my job, bitch.
I know. Ultimately, yeah, just do whatever you want, do whatever you can, whatever you're comfortable with. But this community is amazing. You've always done amazing shit. So, yeah, we just wanted to let you guys know that that's something on the horizon. We're
Plus, it has been a hot minute since we've done like
an actual charity.
A fun. Well, no, because last month we did the National Compassion Fund.
Yeah. Okay.
And I still need to get those donations to them, but like we had a few people come out for Starlight Community Day and donate, so that is always appreciated. So thank you so much. But this is kind of the first big one this year that we actually are like promoting outright. So, and we want to get back into that. Community involvement has always been key, but also giving back has been another key part of Aurora Masters.
Yeah.
The other thing that we'll be doing in the next couple of days that you'll probably hear about is the results of the survey.
Oh yeah, for Aurora Masters.
So we'll probably go over that. And probably on the podcast, we'll just go over some of that stuff too, but it'll be on a later date.
So you'll see a new revamped Aurora Masters. Hopefully you guys will want to stick around with that. I think there's a lot of really cool people here, and they've been kind of dying for us to do more with the community and things like that. And
like one of the things I saw was like, can you guys run more raids again? We missed doing
that.
I was like,
I think that's been our number one request.
Yeah, because it's been different in the past. Aurora Masters was a vibrant community of a lot of raiders, and we utilized a lot of screenshots and putting them into the raid reporting channel, and that generating sites and people knowing how to communicate. But since COVID hit, a lot of people have kind of broken that cycle because they're new and they just don't know any better, which again, that's partly us, partly just the change of the environment due to COVID.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of gotten harder to coordinate. People falling back to the wayside, which was Facebook, and aren't finding raids as easy as they would like to. They turn to remote raiding and using those other apps, which still doesn't really guarantee you good raids.
No.
And a lot of shyness and a lot of COVID stay home qualities has kind of made people a little bit more shy, I'll say nicely. When it comes to just kind of talking to people and getting people out there. So if you were active back in the day and you listened to the podcast, we highly encourage you to get back out there if you're still interested in playing, and just be like, hey, and speak up, help the newbies out, help some of the old trainers out. Just be like, hey, I'm running this raid. If anyone wants to come out, I'll probably have to send some sort of invite
for sure
today, or be like, hey, I want to run some raids in Mission Viejo area. It just takes that initiative, but I think we have to get some of the old folks as in like
the old guard,
the OG players, the day one homies,
the old school hip hop.
Yeah, right? To get back out there. But if that's what it takes, that's what it takes.
Hey, I mean, that's fine. That's what.
Or again, if you're new and you want to learn how to do that, come on out. Like,
straight up.
I like meeting new folks.
We're always available to help and would love to be a part of that. And, we want to see the community thrive as best as it can. And if that's a community of 10 people, so be it. If it's a community of 1,000 people, so be it. We're here for everybody. We're here for our community. Speaking of community, Niantic, I imagine part of their partnership with Silph Road came out with this new, I don't know if you saw it, Community Ambassador program.
I am iffy on this, Beach.
There's some points of contention. So we've talked about this a good number of times, because how many times have they, if you're a community leader, blah, 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 blah. Like, okay, what determines if you're a community leader? If I'm a community leader, do I get community leading tools? Can I set my own raid hour? Can I have a cool event like, we want to have a community get together / fundraiser? Can I drop 10 stops in the parking lot? Not necessarily a parking lot, but can I have tools like that
in our area?
Which is cool. So, and I'll just read this verbatim for a second. We can kind of get into it, but my first reaction was, I'm also kind of iffy on it for a few reasons. So the Community Ambassador program supports local, in-person Pokemon Go communities around the globe by empowering their experiences. Well, that's pretty cool. Okay. Community Ambassadors can receive special perks for their communities, like item codes for giveaways, access to Niantic representatives for special feedback sessions, and other opportunities to support their community's growth. And I'm like, okay, that's kind of what we were talking about. They were talking about opening communications more to people. And we have, allegedly. We do have some pretty loud voices that love to voice their concerns, and having access to Niantic representatives for special feedback sessions might be cool. I was like, okay, I'm into this. Individuals who run in-person events in their area, grow their communities, and create and connect safe spaces for trainers to play can apply to become one of Niantic's community ambassadors. And you're like, okay, that's pretty cool. Like, we do that, right? So how do, that sounds pretty cool.
What does that even mean?
What does that even mean? Well, I mean, at its base, like I said, just reading it from there, I was into it. I was like, okay, this community ambassador shit.
The initial pitch.
That's really horrible. Cool. Because we run in-person events, we think it helps grow our community, connect safe spaces, etc. And then you go, what does Niantic look for in a community ambassador? And you're like, oh, okay, so diversity, always.
Oh, using hot words.
Always a big
hot keyword.
Big on diversity, of course. Professionalism and quality of character. Okay, like. Sure, that makes sense, I suppose. I mean,
and I wonder if they're thinking about like the 10-year-old kids who are the target audience for this. Like, what does that mean to them?
Yeah, like professionalism, quality of character. That's where I'm like, where's the baseline? Do you want this? Do you want us to run this like a company? Is that what I'm understanding?
Yeah. Okay.
Continue. Positivity. Okay. I'm vibing with positivity. I guess safety makes sense. Sure, and integrity. It's like, okay, big buzzwords, big kind of vague words, and like I think they're technically. It's
always like those mission statement hot words. Like I always find it concerning when people start doing that.
So then you're like, okay, that's kind of cool. That's kind of weird, like what they expect in their community leaders. Everyone's a little bit different. Everyone runs the ship a little bit different. But you can, you can kind of not morph people, but like. People can kind of fit these things. I can give an argument as to how we fit all of those. Okay, next. What does a community receive for being part of a community ambassador program? And you're like, okay, well, this is what I'd like to know. Community ambassadors who register and run events through our program will receive special incentives like item codes and swag to share with their communities for community days and other events. Okay, well, we kind of already do that, but... free swag, that's always a plus for people. I think people do get attracted to official things, quote unquote. But the official things also have to be pretty cool or nice. But anyway, so the next community ambassadors will also be able to provide feedback directly to Niantic. They will have access to one-on-one opportunities to learn more about us. I guess that's Niantic, and for us to learn about you. Okay, cool. Again, the feedback thing is cool. As we continue to grow and develop the program, we may extend additional opportunities and benefits to help foster a healthy and safe community for others to play in. Again, they want how do you do it in your community and things like that. This is their trial and things like that. So then I was like, okay, this is all checking all the weird boxes. It's all very PR to me. And then how do I become a community ambassador? It's like Niantic uses the Sylph Roads level and ranking system to track in-person community activity. Well, that's kind of weird. We haven't really used Sylph Road in a hot minute. Like, we did at first, and we had the trainer card, and we had, like, the badges to be like, oh, we checked in, we had this event, all these other things. But we haven't checked in a hot minute, or anything like that. Community leaders who have reached rank 3 on the Sylph Roads community pages are eligible to apply to become a Niantic Community Ambassador. Applicants are then vetted for adherence to our guidelines.
All that makes me think of is back in the day
when we were trying to join.
I forgot the name of the Aurora group before.
I thought it was Littleton or something, but we were trying.
No, it wasn't Littleton. It was.
No, we weren't trying to join it. We were just trying to get information, I thought. Anyway, but that might be different. It's like when we were trying to do the shirts and the Pokemon Go Colorado and getting everyone together.
Yeah, we're on 2 different wavelengths right now.
Okay.
What happened for Littleton?
Well, I don't remember if it was Littleton, but it was like there's a community that was like they want to like check if your account is linked to scanners or spoofers or like the cheating applications or things that. And then if you were, then they would boot you.
Oh shit! I don't even remember what group that was.
Anyway, that was a
know
long
that was
time
like the
ago.
Verified Level 40 group. Like, they had something like that.
I remember that. I remember that was
And
big
then,
and contentious too.
Well, and it's funny too, because going back to what you said, part of those hot words, I was just glancing over integrity, and so the community should avoid cheating in all forms. That includes discussing cheating or using bots, websites, and other tools that encourage cheating. Ambassadors should always do their best to ensure that their community remain cheat-free. So to me, that's not an... Like, I understand integrity. I value the word as a word and as an idea and a concept. When it comes to Pokemon, that just seems like they want us to be like Officer Jenny on their behalf, which to me is
and so
odd.
that's where I was getting at towards this. How do I become a community ambassador? You have to like go through it, and then it's the vetted for adherence to our guidelines.
Right.
And then you go to their community page and how to rank up and all that other stuff, and then you're going back through those things. So integrity, that's huge. Like, okay, communities should be free of discussions, bots, websites, or other tools that encourage the use of cheating and spoofing. So in that case, like anyone that ever likes to use scanners,
yeah,
that's fine. And, we have a
gone.
gray area about scanners. It is what it is. Like, people like to use them. It was very, very handy. Community day, people are like, oh, there's a perfect whatever. If I get there in 10 minutes, I can get it still. Mm-hmm. People still use those. Spoofing, again, we've talked about that a number of times here. I personally don't care, but I know other people are a little chapped about it. And
for personal reasons,
and you're allowed to have your opinions and things like that. But again, I'm not going to hate my community members for doing certain things. It's only when it becomes detrimental to a player's actual playing experience
or safety,
or safety, and these other aspects. But anyway, so like cheating and spoofing. But then like you go back through and you look at what constitutes as cheating, and we've had this discussion.
Accounts.
Having more than one account. So Jack, you're the ultimate cheater. Like,
yes.
Even, at the bare minimum, you're the ultimate cheater. You have multiple accounts.
I do.
You use a third-party device that's not officially Pokemon Go related.
True that.
Like a Gotcha or a Gotcha Plus or whatever the fuck they call it.
And I've used scanners back in the day.
We used scanners for sure back in the day.
Aurora's first wave of scanners I was a part of. The new wave of scanners don't even know how to access it. I'm just like, wait.
Well, we tried, but like, again, it's funny because... You talk to the now Aurora scanners, or the scanners that Aurora's been using, and they're keeping up to date and everything like that. But like ironically, scanners were like, if you're a spoofer, if you have anything linked to a spoofer account or whatever, you got the banhammer, you get like the red fiery sword of justice or whatever, split right down your anus.
Justice.
Or whatever. And it's just like, okay, so to them, scanning is fine, but spoofing, no.
Yeah, but then Niantic
is like, they're both bad, right? And then you go look at like what is Niantic's guidelines for cheating? Is having multiple accounts cheating? Well, in one instance, all right, I got my little Zigzagoon, my new Zigzagoon, shiny or whatever. I threw it in the gym. Oh, JackJack 1620 and his orphanage came and beat the fuck out of my Zigzagoon, and he took the gym, and now I can't have the gym. Is that just me not being cool and not having enough accounts or friends because I'm Valor, or is that just or is that JackJack cheating because he has multiple accounts?
Just being Valor, you just don't respect yourself already.
Oh, I'm above Valor. We've talked about this.
It's true.
So anyway,
it's true.
My point is do I think that JackJack's cheating? No, I don't necessarily care. But again, I'm like a gray Jedi. I'm not full light side, but I'm also not full dark side,
Well, and I'm kind of wondering what that is, what as an ambassador, what that will mean. Like if they are looking for people to enforce or to hold this integrity to this value,
right?
To I don't know what kind of pedestal it'll be on,
right?
But it kind of makes you wonder, like, would these people then be like outing other people? Would that be part of the deal?
Do we have to be the Officer Jennies, or does someone is like, I don't think JackJack and JayTi7N follow the integrity guideline of a community ambassador, so they're going to report us to Niantic or something like that, and then now we have to get into not a legal battle, but it's going to feel like a legal battle with Niantic.
I've already had confrontations with people, like even when it's come to multiple accounts, they're like, well, you shouldn't have that, and I'm like, okay, and
right, sure.
like, am I hurting you as a person? No.
I just bought. I have a couple more phones. I can use more accounts at the same time.
I can't help that I have multiple phones. Like, they were literally bestowed upon me.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where, like, and it says, like, on Self-Road, it says, are they employee or are they a volunteer? And that's where I feel like if there's actual... It's kind of like the same thing for, like, Aurora Masters. Like, this is a volunteer community. This is a grassroots thing. So that's where I feel like Niantic trying to impose certain guidelines for you to do it. And that's why I was like, to me, when you brought up Littleton, I was taken back to, like, I forgot the name of the Aurora group that I was trying to be like a moderator for. I just remember the tension that came up when they're like, yeah, Jack is active, he's this, we've seen him, he's a cool person. This is back in the day, like, where a lot of the moderators were, like, really social, and they added me to the group, and, like, the head of the group removed, like, deleted the whole group chat, removed me, then proceeded to scold and berate the team that was working for that Facebook page. And I was just like, it just seemed like a bit much. And I remember they're like, we have to interview you, and I was like, it's Mareep Community Day, homie.
To interview you, yeah, sit down, like, Jack. I need 21 questions now.
That's where it seems odd, and that's where I feel like they kind of take it a bit. That's where I feel like I'm wondering where Niantic is trying to go with the ambassador thing. Because if it turns out that they just become, like, enforcers of Niantic's idea of how you want to play,
yeah,
that's not what Pokemon was about. Pokemon is being the best, and you getting to do what you wanted to do.
Yeah, Gary fucking Oak had 10 badges in the first season of Pokemon.
There's no way he could have got 10 badges in that community. He clearly made up 2 of them. Plus, you had people, like, getting rid of Pokemon. You had all sorts of other shit, but I digress. It's just interesting to see, and I'm kind of curious, like, who in the community is interested in being an ambassador, and are they legitimately involved in the community or not?
Right. Like, I'm not trying to shit on the program. It's just, like, it feels weird to me. Like, there's some aspects
of it. Well, just that caveat seems
I also
odd.
love this. Well, even that, but even, like, read this. What does a community ambassador do? Are they employee or volunteer? Community ambassador is not a Niantic nor Self-Road employee, contractor, representative, or volunteer. So I guess they want to make clear that you're not associated with Niantic or Self-Road.
So when the people get beat up,
when the shit hits the fan, they're like, that person does not represent Self-Road or Niantic. They are, or whatever. And I understand there's a lot of, again, there's PR clauses. They want to make sure, like, I'm an ambassador, and then I'm just going to go beat the shit out of 10 kids on the playground because
Could you imagine?
They're raiding something. That's the Aurora
they're kicking me out of
ambassador,
my gym.
Or whatever.
That's my gym.
No, but it's just like, again, a community ambassador is someone who voluntarily runs, not a volunteer, but you voluntarily run events in your local community with the gratitude and assistance of Niantic. This is how I know that we're not going to make it, though. Because it's like, the very end of this is like, all feedback should be respectful, constructive, and should never attack the people who work on the game.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, I'm not attacking anyone specifically. I'm just saying, Niantic, you could do a lot fucking better.
Yeah, it all depends what the definition of attack is, and that's why attack, I think, is as a physical attack, like in Pokemon. And I'm not ever going to physically attack.
Like, you find a dev that works at Niantic, and you're like, I'm going to beat your dog up.
Well, yeah, I would never verbally.
I'm trying to be nice.
Yeah, well, I guess that's why I want to know their definition of attack.
Well, again, and that's the point. Is like, okay, what are the specifics of these guidelines that you're putting out? And I know they want to keep it vague so that everything kind of falls under an umbrella. But it's like, again, okay, so I want to be a community ambassador because I want the resources for my community, Aurora Masters, Aurora, etc.
Well, then part of it, I look at the membership leadership thing. So how can I join? You have to be an admin within Sylph League community.
Well, I mean, we are, but
we are. Well, and that's where I think it kind of would be interesting to see, like, who, because I would think a person who I think would be awesome for it would be like Phil-Ro.
Okay, Jay.
Yeah, because Jay does a hell of a lot. Dotman X, Herb, Alphanumeric Joe. There's a lot of people who I think could be great for it as like an initial thing, just as someone to kind of have their toe in that to see what's going on. I haven't signed into Silph-Road in like a hot fucking minute to see what's going on there. The page looks dope. It looks pretty.
I haven't been
but
here
there's
so
been
long.
it's been a moment since a lot of people have used Sil for like check-ins and stuff, because again, COVID hit a lot of people to where they weren't really active with it. So I'm like,
Yeah, we haven't checked in since February Community Day.
well, technically we can always go. Can we go back?
Yeah,
check?
you can check. I'm just saying, like, obviously that's when COVID hit. But
Yeah,
like,
that's when the world
we've
got
hosted. Hey,
impacted.
we've hosted 25 community days. We've hosted 25 tournaments. All right, like.
Yeah, and eventually, like, we want to get back to
three.
That's what I'm kind of surprised they don't talk about, is like events and what that means. Like, is it community events? I would like to see their definition of community events outside of just community day.
I think the only ones that they're, host a community day meetup, upload a meetup photo during 3 of the last 6 months, link a social media profile page to your community page, host at least one community day meetup, one arena tournament every month over 12 months.
Interesting. And that's for gold?
Yeah, this is like up here. That's for there. That's what I assume there. So we're technically rank 3 out of 9. But that's because we don't have 12 competitors on our community's local leaderboard page during the current arena season, because we haven't been doing PvP recently.
Yeah.
But anyway, point of the matter is, like, we're all technically on there. We all fit their thing. So as a different community, I wonder how different that would be. Oh, here's the rules and requirements, baby. There's so many. Community ambassadors can only represent one community in the community ambassador program. I'm an admin in 3. What do I choose?
Ooh.
Because I'm an admin in Colorado Pogo. I'm an admin in Aurora Masters, and then there's the Colorado PvP, which is actually one of these communities as well.
Oh, shit.
So it's like, obviously I would pick Aurora Masters, but it's like, let's see. Oh, approved communities can have a maximum of 2 representatives in a program at a time. So we have at least 5 leads.
Yeah.
We'd have to only pick 2. Only 2.
Only 2. It's
Makes
very
sense.
Hunger Games like. That's what it feels like.
Oh,
Get 2
look,
reps
we
from
wouldn't
each
make it.
district.
Communities must consistently host meetups and events to maintain at least rank 4.
Well, we could,
Or only 3. I'm saying, like, we would have to do the PvP stuff.
which is what we want to do.
Eventually, yeah, but I'm just saying, like, these are the rules that we have
Yeah.
to.
Communities must have a presence on Campfire and use to organize events.
Oh, interesting.
So look, now they're requiring you to use all their apps. Must be family friendly. We are.
Always family friendly.
Communities cannot advocate to share information about
About
cheating.
So your community should have rules and regulations to govern what happens if members of your community discuss cheating. What happened? What does
that mean?
So,
like, we're clearly discussing cheating now.
yeah,
in terms of, like,
it's
the
because
ethic
we're talking
morality of
about
it.
cheating, but it's like, is it because are they talking about, like,
I think it's
teaching
like-
people how to cheat?
I would think so, or just saying, like, here's our
fuck it.
scanners, here's this. Which, what I'm curious about is how are they defining cheating? Because technically, when we used our old bots, used to scan the environment and tell us where gyms were back in the day.
Correct.
Now we have to pretty much self-report them, and we use maps that people have generated in order to figure out that, like, would us sharing information about the environment and where Pokemon are spawning, is that considered cheating?
Right, and then,
To
like,
Niantic.
you look at it, what is cheating in Niantic? Is it like, and it's usually along the lines of, like,
I know it's
exploiting something in the game or using a third-party service to gain a, quote, advantage in the game. My issue is, what are you gaining advantage
What is the
against?
advantage?
Who?
Yes.
Like, this is the problem I have with people call it pay to win in a lot of other video games. And like, these video games are like games where you're not fighting anybody else. You're not in a tournament. You're not making winnings or earnings or anything like that.
Yeah.
What are you winning?
Right.
You're winning.
Or what is
bragging
my
rights?
advantage of?
And I guess, there's probably some kind of emotional damage when it comes to someone always bragging about their catches and their they've gotten everything. It's like, clearly that motherfucker's cheating in some form or fashion, right? to get 200 shinies a day for 396 days straight. You know, that's pretty unimaginable. Technically not impossible, but unimaginable. But like you know, it's like shit like that. Is that, you know, is that cheating? Like, is it cheating because I feel I feel a certain way when I see that? Like I said, am I getting emotional damage from seeing someone brag about something, or bragging rights? Like, I guess in that case, winning. In which case, I'm typically of the mindset of not really. You know, my brother plays a game called Lost Ark, and that is known as a quote pay to win type game, because you can pay for certain aspects in the game to make your grinding experience a lot less. So in like Pokemon Go, it would be like, oh, it's like buying lucky eggs, so you get experience, twice the experience, twice as fast, or whatever. Little aspects like that. Is that paying to win? You know, well, some people might consider that cheating. Oh, you have to spend money to get an advantage or something like that. I mean, who knows? But I think it's just kind of funny, because like it's such a gray area, and like obviously there's certain aspects that are black and blue. It's just like, okay, you know, we went to a tournament and this guy literally beat me with a bat to win. That's cheating, I guess.
Well, and I went further in. They have a program, the facts, like, so questions, and they have a 5-part thing about cheating.
Okay.
In here.
A 5-pronged attack.
Yeah, so it's like they have to pass basically a vibe check when they enter to qualify, and you have to be in good standing. So like, say you cheated in the past, you haven't cheated in a year, is that good enough standing? So that's where some people might get mad if there was someone who was notorious for spoofing or doing whatever.
Okay.
They stopped, and then they somehow still qualify for Niantic.
Okay.
How far back? If Niantic's like,
what
we
are
only
the
go back
statute of limitations
basically
for cheating?
So to help you navigate. So it says explore the terms and service.
Yo, is Niantic gonna check every account that's ever been like red flagged or something?
I don't know,
because like
to me that's just a lot more energy,
because people have gotten red flagged for dumb shit.
Yeah,
like,
for just drifting.
For drifting, or right. I would legitimately was traveling between countries.
So the part 2 is like tricks. If something happens inside the game without external influence, this is not cheating. So that's where they might be like, okay, drifting, quick catching. Ooh. But it's possible considered tricks are okay to talk about and have been confirmed or supported. So
tricks
phone
for kids.
cheats. If you leave Pokemon Go app and change something about your phone to impact the gameplay, that is cheating. So if you're changing your phone's dynamics.
Oh shit! I changed your screen to 60 FPS instead of 30 FPS. Is that cheating?
This may include manipulating the standard function of a phone through its settings, such as switching the GPS on or off to change the time zones. Talking about phone cheats or encouraging them is not allowed in your community hubs.
That old spoofing.
So third-party cheating, using third-party devices or third-party software to manipulate the data or Pokemon Go app, or using manipulated third-party versions of Go is considered cheating. So that makes sense. Using a bot to play Pokemon Go, using software to manipulate your GPS signal. Third-party cheats and encouraging members to use them should not be done on your community hub. All right.
Okay.
So if you're unaware, check Niantic terms and service. You can't foresee all the ways people might cheat, but if you encounter something or feels wrong but is not classified as cheating in your guidelines, act with caution. Talking about cheating is a serious topic for us and can cause the community and its ambassadors to be removed immediately. So even just speaking about it,
right? Like, are we in the danger zone here?
Well, we're in the danger zone, but we're not.
Well, I hope that if they ever consider us, we'll literally give them a link to the podcast.
And I'm sure they already have it, but I just find it very interesting. So it's like, they just don't want anyone to talk about it. They just want to.
What if they don't like us, but they're like Vilro and Brian, Alphanumeric Joe? You guys are perfect ambassadors.
I think they'd be great.
That would be funny. I mean, they would be great ambassadors outside of us just memeing here. But I'm just saying, like, in general.
Because on the app itself, we don't advocate for that. We don't advocate for harassment.
No, I don't advocate for cheating. I just don't understand what counts as cheating per se. Like, this is their little list. But it's like the whole third-party programs. Well, like IV checking is Isn't that it's a third-party program manipulating the data of Pokemon Go to give you quicker information?
Or scanners within it to tell you the stats of Pokemon before you catch it.
That's what I'm saying. Like those types of things, you're just like, is that cheating? Technically, under their little rules, that's cheating. I don't care. I think that's a fine app to use, especially for people that are serious about getting certain IV Pokemon for PvP or raiding or whatever. They're looking for the perfect. Everyone has their own niche of what they collect. You have an almost living dex of lucky Pokemon.
Right.
I have a lot of 69 CP Pokemon. This is very important to me. All right?
Right.
It's like little shit like that where it's just like, okay, am I cheating if I have a thingy show up but it's like, oh, this has the potential to be CP 69. Okay, if it does, I'll catch it. If it doesn't, I might not catch it. Am I cheating? Maybe. I guess in Niantic size I could be. And that's what I'm getting at. I know there's the extreme. There's the spoofing, and then there's like the GPS hacking, and then there's like other hacked versions of Pokemon Go. Like,
the thing that I was just
counts 2 steps for every 1 step I actually take.
The one thing I was kind of just like introduced to randomly in like a chat was people who can buy accounts, like farmed accounts, and then utilize their information. So it's like me buying a third-party account that someone like spoofed the hell out of, like somehow obtained every shiny that's tradable. Yeah. And then they sell it to me for like $20.
And then you can just trade all those shinies to your account.
Trade all that to me. How far does
untraceable?
It's untraceable technically, but then if that account is flagged, would interactions with flaggers make you guilty by association? Yeah. That's where I get curious, because that's where I always giggle, because even some of the notorious spoofers who I've met are like, oh yeah, Jack, that person who just berated you about like spoofing once, they asked me to trade them all sorts of things for this.
Of course.
And I was like, I figured as much. They're like, yeah, they're not above it. And then people decide, again, the moral flexibility of people. It's interesting. So I'm kind of curious. And also, again, if you do want to be an ambassador, we could use someone, because I would love to have someone who is involved with Niantic to see what they say. And then if that gets more recognition, dope. If me being one of the biggest, I guess, because I have an orphanage, seen as like part of the cheating, if I have to like take a step down for the community to rise, so be it. That's fine. Like, that'd be a bridge to cross. I'd just be curious, though, ultimately what Niantic's goal is with the ambassadors. Are the ambassadors eventually going to get certain perks? Like, are they going to fly them out to places, since they're not technically associated with them?
We're not content creators, Jack. We are ambassadors. Right? We're Officer Jennies.
No.
We're Officer Jennies. For their little community events. Just real quick, while we have
will they give ambassadors like beating sticks to like hit people?
Yeah, I hope so. I really hope so.
Or what if they give them like magnets to like scramble phones?
Just scramble next to your phone, like,
you're not worthy. Oof.
No. Is that a third party app I see?
Like, will they have?
Is that a gotcha on your wrist?
Will they have the power to like tattle and then get accounts suspended?
Oh, we have a ban button. We call it the button. I'm calling it in the Niantic.
Oh my god.
Boop, 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 boop. Trainer, I can't think of a name. Oh, Gamer King 22796. That motherfucker's a traitor.
Get him.
Get him.
Get him.
Shit like that. Maybe. I don't fucking know. I mean, again, this is a trial for them. It just is a weird feeling trial.
It is.
I like the upside of a community ambassador, because it's something we've been talking about and something I think we could do. I don't enjoy the limitations that Niantic puts on these types of things, though.
Especially 2 per district.
2 per community. And then, like, but it's similar to if you were partnered stop, like we had at Jed's Bar.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, you can control 1 raid per month. You can drop 1 raid per month, which is cool, but like, I feel like that partnership should be something more substantial.
Especially if you're paying $60.
If I'm paying something, it's probably more now. It's probably like $200.
I wonder how much it is.
But anyway, the point is like, I think there could be cool things about the program. We're just kind of talking about and memeing and, well, half memeing about like, what are the stipulations there? And there's like some of those gray areas. Like, do we have to be enforcers if we want to be community ambassadors? How hard is it? Like,
obviously, just all the other aspects, being rank 4, having community. I was reading it was like your community must be of rank 3 in order to qualify.
Which
then it gets up to rank 4, which is like you have to do the tournaments, you have to do that.
Yeah,
I don't see many advertisements again. I'm not in every community of like who's PvPing actively. If your community isn't active in PvPing, that's like that personal choice for a few is affecting the whole community from not being able to go.
Like, and again, how are these in-game items that you're going to hand out to your community?
Are they worthy?
Is the incentive? Is it cool? Or
are they rare candies or are they potions?
Is it 5 Pokeballs and 2 potions?
You know it's going to be that shit.
You know,
it's going to be like with those little balloons.
Yeah.
That you see that drop
Please,
off like berries.
Can I have some more? They're like, oh yes. You have the pleasure of playing our game. That's our gift to you, and then that's it.
Enjoy it, peasants.
Yeah. Just like Nintendo, the joke is always like, "Oh, is there a sale on a Nintendo game?" And like Nintendo's response is, "Yes, there is a sale. The game is on sale, so buy it." Like for normal price.
Yeah.
But anywho,
savage.
And then one little thing I wanted to touch on, and I'm a little disappointed. We talked about it towards the top of the show, which was
what
they're going back to 29th Street Mall for their in-person Niantic / Self Road event or whatever. And like on one hand, cool. It seemed to work out for a couple people. Pokemon Go Colorado.
Oh yeah, their group photo looked dope. Good job.
The group photo was cool. It seemed to work out for those people. I'm just like. Our region is huge. You can pick anywhere else, and it could be the Springs. It could be, heaven forbid, Fort Collins. It could be Denver proper, Lakewood. There's a lot of other good communities here on that fucking Self Road map that could help host, that could help do these things, and maybe that's what they want these community ambassadors to do. But it's just like going back to the same place over and over and over again, making that the only place to do these in-person events through that channel. It's kind of lame. Like we had a huge turnout for Squirtle Community Day at Wash Park. And I'm not saying you have to go to Wash Park for this event, but I'm just saying like 29th Street Mall in Boulder, cool. Maybe the next community day and you want to do an in-person event, maybe outreach to other people that don't want to drive to Boulder. Maybe, heaven forbid, the mall parking lot at Southlands or whatever it is,
And I'm honestly surprised Boulder is even condoning it, because Boulder is a bubble city that doesn't like people trespassing in their turf. And I can say that confidently because I went to school there.
Well, yeah, I've done
420 days were god-awful, and the news always underplayed the amount of people who would show up.
Yeah.
So I know it's not in that quantity, like thousands of people, but still, native Boulderites don't like people just coming into town to do whatever.
Absolutely.
So I could see that district being like, stop doing that shit. Thank you.
But anywho, I just want to touch on that for a second because it was like, hey, they want these communities to thrive. They want these ambassadors. Hopefully, maybe once they get ambassadors, they can maybe move around. But if they do a third time in-person event at 29th, Street Mall, or in next year it's still at 29th Street Mall, I think I'd be a little disappointed. And Niantic, pick your shit up. Anyway, we love you. Take care. Feel better, everybody.
Enjoy the rain.
We'll see you for Zigzagoonies Community Day. Make sure to look out for those the advertisement for the
and join the raffle if you can.
Yeah, for the raffle and the donations that we're doing.
Just go to the local announcements on the Aurora Masters Discord page.
Absolutely.
For more info.
Love you. We out.
Bye.